Why is permaculture important? I hear this question all the time. The top 5 reasons I would say why permaculture is important for us today, where we are as humans in this world, is that first and foremost, it is not a technique. It is not a way to farm. It is a set of tools that we can design solutions with. So the fact that it is a design system, not a technique, not a dogma, not an ideology, it's a system of tools that we use to then identify ways that we can design solutions that benefit us, that benefit the earth, and that creates beyond sustainable solutions is the top reason why permaculture is important. It can be so vast in its application, which is the second reason for me why permaculture is so important, because it can be applied to any situation. I have seen permaculture in the garden scale. Many of you have. I'm sure you've seen permaculture farms, permaculture animal systems or vegetable systems. Have you seen permaculture homes facing south and natural ventilation built out of natural materials on a very low budget, or even sometimes really high budget and very beautiful? But natural building, building with nature, systems that are not only going to be biodegradable long term, but are actually going to be non-toxic while you live in them, that are going to shelter you from all kinds of electromagnetic radiation and extra cell phone and Wi-Fi signals and things like that. I've seen permaculture applied to industrial design. This blew me out of the water. This was one of my best tangent discussions with a student that I had in a long time, who was a consultant for factory scale production. He's fed up with the industry, fed up with working in factories and producing products and all that stuff. And after taking a permaculture design certificate with us, he kind of, with a new lens, looked back at the factory and said, there's a lot that we can change in a factory to make it function more like a system. And so he took the conveyor belts that brought the items through the line where people worked on them, and he started to meander them through the factory like a river. And by doing so, it actually meant that the conveyor belt kind of moved around the workstations, so the people had less sidestepping to do, less repetitive motion to keep up with the piece that they were working on, and it meant that they were actually able to fit a lot more conveyor belts in the same size factory. So the actual efficiency of the factory went up. But it was really interesting to see how simple application of how a river flows to a factory line was game changer for them in efficiency. The fact that permaculture can be applied to no matter what the situation is my second reason why permaculture is important. My third reason why permaculture is important is because it's not actually something that's new. The word permaculture is new. It was coined by Bill Mollison, David Holmgren, but it was coined through the observation of indigenous cultures and natural systems and how they all work together in respect of the ecosystems of Earth. And so looking at how ancient civilizations and indigenous populations and people would work with the land and create systems that always worked with the land as well. We have gotten so far away from these fundamental principles that guided almost every ancient civilization. The fact that this is nothing new means that it doesn't require AI, it doesn't require robotics, it doesn't require a colony on the moon or on Mars, it doesn't require any high-tech solutions whatsoever. It only requires what each and every one of us have inside of us, which is the ability to see, the ability to hear and observe our surroundings. And by doing that, we can see patterns, and we can use these patterns to then design solutions that will help us move into a more abundant future. My fourth reason for why permaculture is so important is because it breaks away from this duality that we are stuck in today, human versus nature. The idea that we have to measure our eco footprint and how bad are you for the planet and how less bad can you be. That's how we look at it today. How many steaks do you eat, or if you eat any, how many flights do you take, and can you take less so that you are less harmful, less of a burden on the planet, which to me is such a dangerous thing to be telling people, that they are a burden on the earth, because we aren't. The way that we live today is, yeah, absolutely, I completely agree. The extractive mining, extractive use of slave labor, because really today it's legalized slave labor through poverty wages and all kinds of other injustices. The way that our system is so broken today, it really shocks me. But that isn't who humans are. That is who we, and not we as in everyone, but a lot of the communities and a lot of people have become today because of the system of education that we have, because of the system that we grow up in, the system that we work in and consume from. but it's not who we were in ancient civilizations. So if you look back, there are many beautiful examples, and we won't get into them here, of how humans have shaped the earth in ways that have brought about colossal abundance. The Amazon rainforest is one of those examples. So that's my fourth reason why permaculture is important today, is that it breaks free from this duality that human is separate from nature, and in fact embraces the reality that we are a part of nature, and only once we reroot ourselves to those ecosystems will we then be able to create fully abundant human societies that integrate with the earth and actually create more benefit for the planet, its other species, as well as us. And fifth, the reason why I think permaculture is so important today is because in a world where we are so separate from nature, it helps create a structured approach to going back into nature. Now, if you talk to somebody who lives on the land and you start talking about permaculture, there's a lot of head nodding going on. Like, this is pretty obvious that you see water flowing and you see erosion and you know you have to slow it down. But for someone who's so broken away from those natural ecosystems, who's so separate from observation of the land and the ways of water erosion and wind and all of these different systems, permaculture provides a framework by which we can relearn and reappropriate the ability to be a human observing an ecosystem and design solutions and have positive impact. So those would be my top 5 reasons why permaculture is important today. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, whether you think permaculture is important or not, what you think is one of the main reasons why permaculture is important. And for you, if you've experienced any of these things that I've shared in this video, I'd love to hear from you and to know about how you're experiencing this change of times where we are redefining what it means to be human today, and if there's any moments that I've mentioned that embraced or supported you on your journey. If you like this kind of thing and you want to hear more of our free content like this, please join us on our Patreon. So that's patreon.com/p3permaculture, and support us for as little as $3 a month to join in our fireside chat. The fireside chat is once a month. We gather with that tier level group and we have what I call rabbit hole tangent hangouts, where we pick a topic, we focus on that, and we don't just do introductory level. We get into the heart of it and we just start going deep level on some of this stuff. It's a space for us to go next level on our discussions, share ideas, and go into a deep dive rabbit hole on these great topics that we like to talk about. Follow us on Facebook at P3 Permaculture, and as well on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know in the comments if there's anything that you want to hear about, why permaculture is important for you in our future, and how it can help us change the world. Cheers.